When Mowry and Cory Hardrict announced their divorce, we all thought it was gonna be smooth sailing because we all know Tia is not a messy person. But we were so wrong. Well, Tia is not the reason for the messy situation. It's actually Cory. Normally, during celebrity divorce, the women are usually the ones who make it a big deal, but it seems in this case, the reverse is true. The divorce just keeps getting messier and messier because Cory has come forward to say that Tia is the reason why he doesn't get as many jobs as he used to. So it seems he's trying to play the victim again. But is Tia the reason he doesn't get enough jobs?
I have a lot of friends that aren't in the business. You know, so they keep you grounded.
And why is their divorce so messy? Well, let's get into it. It looks like Cory is at the bottom of the barrel right now because with the information going around, it looks like he's not been doing very well professionally, and that in turn has affected his financial ability. Cory, being who he is, has held Tia responsible for his bad luck because he seems to think she's the reason no one wants to work with him anymore. It seems kind of absurd that someone like Tia would be responsible for Cory's bad luck, so it might just be karma, and Cory just wants to be messy for no reason. It's been about a year since Tia announced that she had filed for divorce from Cory, and we really thought it would be an exception to all the other messy celebrity divorces we see, because as we know, Tia's never been one who loves drama. But Cory decides to prove us wrong and become the drama queen in the divorce. When she announced they were separating, she did so via Instagram, where she posted, "I've always been honest with my fans, and today's no different. I wanted to share that Cory and I decided to go our separate ways. These decisions are never easy and not without sadness. We will maintain a friendship as we co-parent our beautiful children. I'm grateful for all the happy times we had together and want to thank my friends, family, and fans for your love and support as we start this new chapter moving forward in our lives." Unfortunately, that was not the case, as Cory decided that he was not interested in being friends with her because the divorce eventually turned out to be very messy. And it was all Cory's fault, as he couldn't stop being petty. When Tia announced the divorce, he took to his Instagram story to start throwing shade at her. I mean, how petty can you get? Acting out of emotions will cost you every time. It just came to the point where Tia had to be honest about what led to the divorce, hinting that Cory was extremely broke, the kind of broke who depended heavily on his partner because he made no financial contributions to their household. Tia doesn't like to be messy, but this particular time she had no choice. She made her opinion known when she liked a post on the neighborhood about narcissistic partners who don't contribute financially.
I'm so happy we live together. I'm excited to pay our first bill. You know the rent's due, right? Who on earth is excited to pay bills? And what do you mean together? Hey, you live here, so you're not gonna pay it. Wait, what? So what would you do if I wasn't living here with you? What would you do? I would pay the rent and all the bills. Exactly. So why do you need me to pay the rent and the bills if you can do it by yourself?
And she didn't even just like the post. Our girl dropped a side-eye emoji, and we all know what a side-eye emoji means. The funny thing is that ever since they got together, their financial imbalance has always been a serious discussion among fans because Tia has always been more successful than Cory, so it wasn't really a secret that she's been carrying him financially from the very start of the marriage. Tia's a good woman because she respects his ego and never really talks about the fact that she was the breadwinner of the family. But everyone still knew because Cory didn't make as much as she did, and he himself spoke about it because he used to say he didn't feel insecure about her earning more than he did. Now we all know the reason he didn't feel insecure was because her earnings meant she would shoulder all the bills. After all, this has been the case since they first met. For those who aren't familiar with Tia and Cory's history, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. Tia and Cory first met on set, and at the time she and her sister Tamara had already made a name for themselves in Hollywood, while Cory was still trying to get his break in the industry. In addition to being broke, he was also in debt because he worked part-time at a convenience store to make ends meet. He owed several $1,000s to the California state government because he'd wrongfully collected unemployment benefits even though he didn't qualify for them. So he was in a very sticky situation when he met Tia. Some might even say he probably just dated her for the money. When they were dating and eventually married, Tia was more than happy to pay the bills since she had the money. By that time, he must have gotten so comfortable with spending Tia's money and must have thought he was a sugar baby and Tia was the sugar mama because he let her handle all the bills. The whole story sounds kind of depressing, but the good news in all of this is that Tia was smart enough to protect herself and all of her money because she made Cory sign a prenuptial before they got married. So he was completely on his own after the divorce because the National Bank of Tia has stopped paying the bills. It was at that point that he realized he wasn't going to be enjoying the soft life any longer. He started going on and on about how he still loved Tia.
Love my kids, love my wife, I love all you guys. Just know that. It's all love, okay?
But unfortunately for him, Tia didn't buy it, and she still wanted the divorce.
This is what's crazy about being biracial. I have blood that started it, and then I have blood that was enslaved by it.
When he realized this, he started making moves to get his hands on her money, and that was when people started dragging him for being greedy. When he finally responded to Tia's divorce petition, he'd asked the court to order Tia to pay him spousal alimony because when Tia filed, she requested that neither of them be required to support the other, making it clear that she didn't want money or anything else. However, it was clear from Cory's response that he wanted spousal alimony, indicating that he had the opposite intention. So it was simply him saying, I want her money, but I will not give her my money. But it gets worse because remember the prenuptials he signed? He wanted the court to throw it out and render it invalid, claiming he had signed it under duress. Tia was so mad that he would sink so low to get her money, so she decided to go through hell and back because she fought him for everything, even petty things like airline miles, reward points, and all other credit card points on credit cards owned by her and entities owned by her. Ever since the divorce, she's been glowing differently. She's been posting on Instagram, going on exotic vacations, and even getting serenaded by Beyonce. But we can't say the same for Cory because he's been having the opposite of whatever a glow-up is. The word on the street is that he's feeling frustrated that the settlement did not turn out the way he wanted. He's even concerned about going bankrupt and is blaming Tia for it. But Tia's fans started to drag him and other people in the industry started to avoid him after seeing how he treated Tia. Nevertheless, he was able to keep the jobs he had already agreed to and a few others, but the messy situation had negative effects. Now the only time people mention his name is when they talk about Tia, so you can see that he's not so secure professionally. And it's probably his fault because he could have just ended things with Tia on a good note and not made things so dramatic as they were. He even shaded Tia on Twitter when he tweeted, "Be careful of who or what you let around you become you." He also shaded her by saying she was trying to ruin his life on purpose. When you intentionally try to hurt someone or bring harm to an individual's life, you open up the floodgates for your own demise. So move with love. This sounds more like a message he should tell himself and not Tia, but tell me, what do you think? Leave your thoughts below in the comments.